Hello everyone, Chocolo Roberto here for another video review. It's another Fazer one this week. It's Karl Fazer and it's Biscuit crisps in milk chocolate. So basically, Karl Fazer, as you perhaps know by now, is a Finnish brand. And this one, it's basically crispy bits essentially. Probably looks like actually bits of biscuit really, rather than say Rice crispy bits or anything like that. So you can see it has the typical Karl Fazer blue on one side, and then the sort of unique part to each chocolate colour here. In this case, it's sort of like a beige, I guess, rusk yellow. Yeah, so I'm quite a big fan of these Fazer chocolates actually, as you might have already seen by the fact that I've reviewed a few of them. They're always lovely and crammed full of what's the word? I was going to say flavour really, but that's not the word I was looking for. Ingredients, I guess. I'm not sure. Yeah, the extra bits anyway. The sort of the sort of the flavour of this one. They're always crammed full of it, so it's all really nice and lovely. Can't think of the word. Not toppings. Middle, maybe you could say. Centre. Yeah, centre. I don't know. I don't know what you would say. I'm sure there's a word for it that I can't think of. I do apologise. But basically, the Fazer chocolates are always full of whatever ingredients they're using for this particular bar. So in this case, it's biscuit crisp or biscuit pieces. So I expect this bar to be chock full of them, pun intended. So yeah, so basically, it's a larger bar. You can get them in smaller bars, I think, but I have to get them from Amazon. So I generally buy the larger one just to make it a bit more worthwhile and to as an excuse to have more chocolate. And why not? So yes, let's have a look. They're all quite a standard size, these Fazer bars, and there's no real flourish on them, so you might lose a couple of millimetres, but I think it's basically pretty much just the size you can't lose any less than what you would do. So it's just over 22 centimetres, 22.2, something like that. Now so you have to forgive me. It's all now it is does have English on the back, but it's it has a variety of languages, so it's quite difficult to find the actual nutritional information on here. Let's have a look. So yeah, it does it per 100 grams. Now the bar is 195 grams, but for the sake of easiness, I'll treat it as if it's 200 just to work out what things are, because it's a bit difficult to. I'm not rubbish at maths, but that's a bit too much for a bit too much detail. So yeah, so we'll treat it as if it's a 200 gram bar, but it is 195. So per 100 grams, you have 536 calories. So basically in this there's 268, I think that works out as 268 calories in half the bar, roughly. There's 30 grams of fat in, what am I talking about? Well, do bear in mind what I've just said there actually, because that is worth knowing. But in the whole bar, sorry, there's 1,072 calories, and there's 60 grams of fat. So if switch saturates, there's 36 grams of those of saturates. So basically in a quarter of a bar, which is probably, I think it's 8 segments. I think it's a 4 by 2, 4, 2, 4, 6. I think it's a 4 by 8 segment bar, something like that. But just this is 4 by 2, so that's a reasonable amount you would normally eat as a regular chocolate bar. So that would give you, let's see, 278 calories, 15 grams of fat, 9 of which are saturated. So that sounds reasonable, I think. And that would be roughly 50 grams of chocolate. So actually that's pretty good for 50 grams of chocolate. But don't hold me to that. I'm not a scientist in the ways of the chocolate. I just enjoy to eat it. But just based on what I remember from previous chocolate bars, it seems to work out quite good. Okay, so let's give it an open. So we have the typical, has a bit of blurb on the inside in a few languages, including English, just talking about the Karl Fazer brand and it's a family company and things like this and of what they value. It comes in a typical foil as well, which I do like. You can see it's got sort of Fazer iconography on it, which is quite nice. Yeah, so you can roughly see the segments already, really, can't you? So as I say, it's it is a 4 by, it's an 8 by 4 bar. Too bad. But I do quite like. I always say, I like where you could rub into the bars. You can't really do this foil though, it's a bit tight actually. You can't really rub, you know, into and get a detail of what the bar looks like underneath it. I mean, I guess you kind of have already, but anyway, just being a kid. Big kid in me. Right, let's have a look. Okay, look. Yeah, so I can immediately see how crammed full of chocolate it is. Just give it a shake, get rid of any excess choc. Okay, so it's not quite as, it doesn't melt in your hand as much as say Cadbury's chocolate does. So it is a finished bar, so you'd say in Finland you could probably afford to be a bit less solid, because for frozen solid all year round there, you know. But yes, let's have a look. Yeah, so you can see the Fazer iconography in there. Quite a nice bar. And then on the flip side, okay, you can see how full of bits of biscuit it is. So yeah, very nice and full. Okay, yes. So right, let's give it a break off. Snapped a bit there, so let's give it a shake. Chocolate everywhere. So you can see there all the bits of biscuit in there, hopefully. Yes, there's lots in there. I think it's mainly, obviously there is the bits that come out the top. There isn't really any biscuit pieces in there. Just notice really that these bars, you know, I think all of them do it really, but you can see kind of how it makes it look like it's taller than it is. I mean, these are the bits at the top are hollow. So really the bar's only, if you take off that top bit, that's how big the bar is really. And these bits are a bit of a smoke and mirrors attempt to make it look bigger than it is, but I think all chocolate do that really. And the weightage is pretty above standard. So for say 8 segments worth. So yeah. So there we go. So you can't really see. I might try a bit of a cut, just to see if we can see on the inside if it's any different. Don't think it is, to be honest with you. I thought I'd give it a try. So I've cut that one in a bit. You can still see it's about the same really. Look how you get any better view of how much biscuit's in there, but you know, clearly from underneath you can see it's all knobbled. There's enough in there. Okay, so without further ado, let's give it a taste. That's lovely Fazer chocolate, very nice. Not as creamy as Cadbury, but substantial and creamy, I think is the way I'd describe it, and I do like that a lot. The biscuit crisps, yeah, but don't taste too far away from the popcorn one they did. You know, they did like milk chocolate with popcorn in it, basically salty popcorn, and this doesn't taste better actually than that, but tastes the same. Has that kind of taste. Yeah, I like this. It's very nice. Well, I can say I'd have this every time over the popcorn one, I think, because it gives you the same kind of texture and almost the same flavour. But does it in a more subtle way, in a nicer way, and I think the crispy biscuits are not quite as hard as the popcorn biscuits, because the way the popcorn one did it wasn't a fully blown popcorn because it was too big for the bar, but had sort of chunks of, you know, the corners before it got to the big fluffy stage. So it was a bit hard. It wasn't too hard. It got it just right really for what they could do to get it into the bar this size. But it roughly tastes a bit like this really. It just had the sort of the same taste. I don't know how. I don't know if these are because of a bit salty piece of biscuits, or they don't taste salty, but I don't know if that's why it tastes similar. I don't know. There's a lot of crunch in there. It's really nice. You basically got, you know, you've just got that. It's just got that ratio where there's more chocolate than biscuit, but it's quite close. So you constantly feel like you're crunching on a nice biscuit centre all the time. Yeah, I do. More the texture than the flavour, despite what I said before. There is more flavour, more texture there than the flavour of biscuit in there. But I do like it a lot. I mean, it's not to do with Fazer chocolates. They have like it'll be like a raspberry crispy bits or blueberry crispy bits with yogurt or something, or orange crispy bits. So the more flavour. This one is just like it's just the texture. There's no real flavour there as such. Strangely enough, this is about what I said before, but I do sort of feel like it does give you what the popcorn does, but a bit nicer for me at least. Anyway, I don't know why that is, but instead it tastes it that way. There isn't loads of flavour there, so it's more for the texture. So I think for me, I probably prefer the other ones with more of a flavour in there, because I think that just gives it something a bit different. But this one's very nice. I do enjoy it a lot. It's very tasty. As I say, I think it just doesn't quite have the oomph that other bars of it and the Fazer brand do, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. This one's just a bit more of your sort of plain flavour rather than some other flavour, basically, is the gist of it. But yeah, I do like it. A solid 4 out of 5, I think, for me. Very tasty, and I could quite happily eat it again. I think I probably, though, would prefer to go into a more specialised flavour that they do, such as, say, the raspberry or the blueberry or the mint or whatever. I think it just adds a bit more to it. But this one is still very nice. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, I certainly did. Yeah, take care. Follow me on Twitter and subscribe and like my videos and things like this. Always get in touch with any feedback. It'd be lovely to hear from you. And I'll see you next time. Okay, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.